morning, everyone, and welcome to Up Legendary. Happy Wednesday, September 25th, 2024. My name's Joanne. I'm the Director of Marketing and Life Training here. Obviously, I'm here today. I might be here the rest of the week. There is a hurricane heading towards Dave at this point. We'll see which direction it goes and whatnot. And we have a few others on the team as well. So we're keeping them in our thoughts and making sure everybody is safe and sound and prep as accordingly for everyone that's over on that part of Florida. But today we have an awesome guest. We've had a lot more guests in that over 50 range, which really actually mirrors. We just have a lot more students in our community that are a little bit, they're not in their 20s, leaving college. We do have those, obviously, in that age group. But it's nice to make sure that we're highlighting all the different stages of life in our community and on our show. And once again, we have someone that has a really cool story. And she used this word a lot in her questionnaire. So I threw it in the title about reinvention. And I can't wait to hear what that means to her and for her to share that with all of you. She is also a little bit more in the beginning stages of her business, starting to see those small wins, celebrating those small wins each day. And I'm really excited for y'all to hear. But before I bring her on, you know the deal. If you would like to get a text notification of every morning when we go live, so 5 messages a week, that's all you're going to get, head over to legendarymarketer.com/WUL. Join our broadcast room. You will get a notification when we go live with a direct link right to the broadcast to hop on in here. So once again, legendarymarketer.com/WUL. And we've had a ton of questions about our accountability program, which, oh my gosh, it's absolutely phenomenal to see our members that started in there 3 months ago now starting to have those wins, that confidence to come on Wake Up Legendary. The last few days, we've had guests that were also in that mentorship program. And they weren't invited because they were in the mentorship program. They were invited because they're seeing progress. They're gaining confidence. They have way more self-worth and drive. And that's what we love to see. And to see the progress and the change is just my favorite part, and why I do what I do, why we do what we do here at Legendary. And it's been awesome to see. So if you are curious about our mentorship program, you get a 30-minute free call to talk about your own accountability, your own where you are in your business conversation with somebody that just gets it. That's it. All you have to do is email the word accountability or free call to make it even easier to dave@legendarymarketer.com, and he will connect you right with one of our mentors and get you a free 30-minute call. What do you got to lose? Especially if you've been in that start-stop phase over and over and over and over, or just feel like you're spinning your wheels. It's just a great person to sit down and have a conversation with, because you can't really have that same conversation with your friends and family. It's a lot different. How about that? It's a lot different. That's for sure. Yes, take advantage of the call. That's it. Of course, they're going to talk about our program, but you're going to get stuff out of that call that you can run with. So what do you got to lose? Not much, not much. Thank you, Becca, for the kind well wishes. Stay safe in Florida. All right, let's do this. I love all the comments. Everybody's coming in. Please welcome Michelle to the show. Good morning, Michelle. How are you today?
Good afternoon. I'm good, thanks.
Oh, good afternoon. Where are we located?
I'm in Ireland, so we are 6 hours ahead of you. So it is 3 o'clock in the afternoon here.
So are
I've
you
been up for a long
in
time.
Ireland? Do we live there? Are we vacationing?
I've lived here for 20 years now. Yes.
Oh, Amazing, amazing. So Ireland is home, and thank you for joining us on this afternoon.
Well, thank you. I am so delighted to be here. Truly, truly am.
So share with us how you even came about finding Legendary and coming online.
Sure. So I was working for a tech company for 11 years. I was working remotely. So this is before COVID, right? I was already working from home. I had been hired to work remotely on purpose because I had two young children at the time. Back then, they were 2 and 4. It's amazing they're now teenagers and getting ready to drive. I don't even want to talk about that.
I got you. I understand. I got
Just do
two
not want to
drivers
go
and one that's driving in a few months. I got
Okay.
you. I
Okay.
understand.
And so I thought I was doing a good job and I was getting promoted on a regular basis. Things seemed to be going fine. And then all of a sudden, I got a new manager. Things didn't work out well. And we made a mutual agreement to go our separate ways. I
Mm,
was fortunate enough, and I know not everybody's in this position. I was fortunate enough because of the circumstances to get a financial settlement, which allowed me to not work for a year. So
okay.
during that year, I had to figure out what am I going to do with the rest of my life?
Right.
And that was only 2 years ago. So this is a very recent phenomenon that happened to me. Especially, I know that there are people on this call. You have been with the same company. You've been, a quote unquote loyal employee. You feel like you're doing a good job. And there will be circumstances. I think we all went through this with the pandemic, circumstances that are beyond your control that will lead you to get into a financial situation you may not be prepared for. Because, like I said, I know that we were fortunate. That we had a settlement, which not everybody's going to get. Some people are probably relying on that unemployment, check or social security check or something that's out there. So that is when I needed to figure out what am I going to do with the rest of my life. And I knew I did not want to go back to a regular job. I didn't want to be reliant on that entity any longer. Once you go through that what I call betrayal process, you don't want to go back. It can be it can be very difficult. I just want to be honest about that. I
Mhm.
know over here we're talking a lot about mental health issues. I'm sure it's probably the same in the States. And that's something you need to be mindful of, is taking care of yourself and protecting yourself and what is best for you. So I started looking for what could I do as a business that I could run from home that could still, work with our family because I do have teenagers, so they still need minding in some ways.
Right,
If any of you
right.
have you still need parenting that's
I've been
going on.
before.
Yeah, right. I'm still going. My boys both play soccer. I'm sure a lot of you,
Mhm,
have kids who are playing sports or doing some
mhm,
kind of activity that you've got to be present for still in their lives. And that
mhm.
can be really challenging when you have a 9 to 5 job and a
Yeah,
boss or a company who is demanding things of you that they don't care, about your personal family life. And that's kind of how I started that journey. I watched the show before. I think all of us kind of started going, go to YouTube, figure out what to do.
mhm,
And affiliate marketing was what I came across, where I said, very low buy-in, right? You literally need, as I talk about on my YouTube channel, $0 to start. Social media is amazing. The fact that they let us
mhm.
use these platforms absolutely free to advertise stuff. So you can start in with zero buy-in. You're not committing yourself to a franchise, like McDonald's or something, which is
Right.
millions of dollars. And you can do it at your own pace, and you can figure out what you're good at. So that's part of my reinvention. Is I had to learn whole new skills, but I needed also a place to go where I could figure out what in the world I was doing and hopefully not, I didn't want to make mistakes that somebody else had already made, right? I think Dave's made all
Right,
these mistakes. So
right.
why should I redo them? So that's how I came to Legendary Marketer. Was I needed to find a place to go to learn how to do this online business, how to set it up, what was the right way to go about it, because I think there are a lot of people out there who are doing it the wrong way and they are going to get caught soon
Mhm.
with what they're doing. And that's how I came to Legendary Marketer. And then through my own grit and learning skills and pounding away, I was amazed to get this email to say, "Would you like to be on Wake Up Legendary?" And I was really, I'm sure you've had this reaction before, Joanne. I was totally like, me? Really? Like, is this a real email? Is this a scam? Are they going to ask for money? Something like that. So no, I am literally over the moon. This is amazing for me. So excited.
Well, we're happy you're here. And man, that was a load of information and gold. And
Okay.
I hope for some a really good reality check, because there's a comment, how much does it cost to join Legendary Marketer? So I want to add some clarity here because I really want to reiterate what you said. You wanted to learn digital marketing and you
Yeah.
wanted to learn it the right way and not make the same mistakes somebody already did. So you went and seeked out education. And
Yep.
that's what we are. We are not a club. We are not an
No.
opportunity. We are a place that will choose to come to gain education in digital marketing. And
Yeah.
the word you used, and I want to really stress this, is it took a lot of growth.
Yeah.
And that's not something we can give you. That's
Mm-mm.
not something any person out there, any education company out there, any program, any coach, any guru, nobody can just pump grit and determination
Yeah.
into you. You have to decide, okay, I'm buckling down. This is the path I want, and I need a little more education in it. I want a little bit more community, a little bit more support. How can I do that? We are blessed enough that you are in our community to be a part of that journey with you. And that's really what it is.
Yeah.
And I hope that clears it up for Dan in the comments.
Okay. Yeah, I don't
One
see
way to
the
check it
comments.
out is we do have a $5 challenge, which Melissa's talking about. And you can head over right over to here. Let me find it.
Surely there's a link.
Marketer.com enroll or learnlaunchlead.com and it'll take you right there. And head over and check out our $5 challenge. And it just lets you see this online world all about and do I want to be a part of it?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, it's not for everybody. I mean,
yeah,
I think that's good to know also, but I
yeah,
also think it's good to realize that I think there are too many YouTube videos out there going, "Do this in 7 days, da 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 da
mhm,
da." We've all seen them. We all have seen the
right,
thumbnails
right,
on
right,
YouTube, and I think
right.
it's really important to emphasize, and I say this in my own videos, it will take 3 to 6 months of consistency to start seeing results, and I think that's very realistic depending on where you are with your commitment. Because I also know a lot of people start doing digital marketing or affiliate marketing when they're still having a 9 to 5 job. So then
Mhm,
it might take you a little bit longer. It just depends on how much time you have and you know maybe what kind of product you're endorsing
mhm,
and which social media platform you're using, and if you decide to go free versus paid ads. I believe in free. I'm really clear about that.
mhm,
I love social media. And it also for me helps me to grow my business, what they say, very organically. um,
mhm.
because I have experimented with solo ads. I'm sure everybody has out there, and you get a really quick hit, but then the people go away because they're not really interested. You don't know how much you've targeted the right audience. Whereas when you do it organically, you're reaching the right people.
Right, definitely. So something I love about you and your business is you are showing up on YouTube.
Yes, I love YouTube.
You love YouTube. And I have been saying this on Decade in a Day for months. Don't sleep on YouTube. It's been here for years. It's not going away.
No.
It doesn't go through the crazy cycles as much as what Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok do. Um, and YouTube is such a strong search engine as well. So I want you to spill all of your YouTube experience? How did you
Okay.
get started? How was
So
it in
I
the
will I
beginning?
will have to admit that I have a bit of advantage over maybe some people. So I wrote in my questionnaire, I've had a very eclectic career path, and that is true. So I worked for the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. I've worked as an operations manager for a symphony orchestra, but I've also worked as a flight attendant and as a tour guide and a shore excursions manager on a ship. And in those jobs, I have to speak in front of people, right? So that is something I am personally very comfortable with. I'm very
Great.
used to being on the microphone or being in front of a group of people
Mhm.
and saying something, including in business. When I did work for the tech company, I also gave presentations or ran calls. So I think people nowadays maybe are more used to being on camera and speaking into it than maybe they were, what, 5, 10 years ago when I was already doing it. So I already had a lot of experience doing that. So that helped me tremendously on YouTube. And if don't be afraid to be on camera. I think the most successful channels are when you're on camera telling your story and doing whatever endorsing you are of a product that hopefully you have used. I think that's really important. So my YouTube journey started with I have a channel that promotes using free tools because I do believe you can do affiliate marketing pretty much free of charge. There's not a lot you've got to pay for. You can also do affiliate marketing using social media. So I have various playlists on my channel. There's a free tools playlist. There's information about different social media platforms and how they work. I've got inspirational videos. I do course reviews, including I've got 3 reviews, I think, of Legendary Marketer on my channel promoting you
I hope
guys
you're
because
positive.
they are very positive because I believe in it so much. So so my YouTube journey started just because I am probably how you can tell with me. I'm not a TikTok person. I'm not a 30 second. Can I put something in 30 seconds? No, that's just not my. I said it to somebody else. It's not my jam. You know, people Instagram's my jam. Like no, I don't do
Mhm.
that. But that's just me. You know, and you need to do something you're comfortable with. I will say on YouTube, it is very important to be consistent. So I have over 130 videos on my YouTube channel, so it's not just, oh, I'll post this month and then post again next month. You do not have to have your video be perfect to get posted on YouTube. I think that's huge as well. Your
Right.
first video is going to be horrible. Just get over that right
Right.
now. It's going to be
And
horrible.
they're as harsh as this is to say, nobody's gonna see it.
Maybe
There's
not.
people are
Yeah.
gonna yeah, or there it's just not gonna be like it's not gonna end up
It's your first
in
video is not going to
Entrepreneur
blow up.
Magazine. It's not gonna
Yeah.
end hopefully, it doesn't end up on
It's not going
Dateline,
to go
It's
viral. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just not gonna be
It's
like
not.
this life-changing moment. It's just gonna be
No.
your first video that you're gonna post another one right after it.
Yeah, definitely. And be consistent, keep showing up,
Mhm.
and listen to your subscribers. Some of my best videos, as far as views go, has been based on reading my subscriber comments and also reply to your subscribers. I think that's really important. If you post a comment on one of my videos, I always reply. Even it is just thanks so much for watching or thanks for sharing your experience. Even if it's just a one-liner, listen to your audience. Your audience will start to tell you what they want and what they value from you. I also use the community portion. I don't know if a lot of people realize the community portion of your YouTube channel where you can do a poll, you can ask questions of your audience, and hopefully they'll reply. There's a lot of different components to your YouTube channel besides just your long form videos. I personally don't post shorts a lot because TikTok's not my thing, short form videos
Right.
not my gig. I
Mhm.
do promotional videos, and then what I also do is my method is I use other social media platforms to drive the traffic to my
Ah,
YouTube channel.
there we go.
That's what I'm mainly
Okay,
doing.
so let's
It
pause
took
there.
me, I want to say, I also think, okay.
Let's talk about that. How are you using other YouTube channels to drive traffic to yours? Let's give them this nugget.
Well, not YouTube channels, social media
Okay,
channels.
social
So
media
I'm
channel.
on Clapper, TikTok, and Facebook where
Okay,
I do shorts.
okay.
And those shorts are always promoting my YouTube channel, or they're a inspirational quote or a motivational quote or
Mhm.
a quick little tidbit. But in the comments of all of my short form content, I put join me on YouTube
Okay, that's your call
every
to action.
single time.
Mhm.
Consistency is key. I can't
Mhm.
say it enough. Also, a lot of people focus on the 1,000 subscribers and to
Mm,
get monetized, but you also have to realize you need 4,000 watch hours.
right.
There's two parts to that coin to eventually literally start getting money from Google. So some people will hit the 1,000 subscribers and go, great, I'm going to start getting ad money. And then they go, oh, wait, I don't qualify. And it's because you haven't read all of the information. And it's also because I would say a lot of people don't promote the 4,000 hours of watch time that you need. And that is also crucial to starting to get monetized on YouTube. The other thing I would say is monetized on YouTube is not going to make you rich necessarily. You have to treat your YouTube channel like a business and figure out that there are multiple streams of income associated with your YouTube channel. And that's important as well. And you need to watch your analytics. Your analytics, once you have a YouTube channel, will tell you what is the click through rate, how many minutes has somebody watched your YouTube video? You have spent hours writing the script, doing the editing, and then you go, wait, people are only watching an average of 5 minutes? Don't be
You're like,
discouraged.
crap. How do I
Yeah.
get him to what? The gold was at the 10-minute mark.
I know, yeah. So don't be discouraged by that. It's okay. But use your subscribers and use your analytics. I hate to use the word analytics, but use the data. I know it sounds so mundane and
It
drudgery,
sounds like
but
way too techy, and I think people get turned off
yeah,
by it, but yet it's so important because
yeah,
Dave spoke about this the last couple of days as well on Wake Up Legendaries. We can't take stuff so personal when it comes to our content,
no,
right? The
they don't know
numbers are
you.
there. We can't be like, oh my God, I'm a horrible person. People only watch 3 minutes of my YouTube video that I posted,
Okay.
20 minutes long. You have to be like, okay, what was in the first 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Happened around the 3 minute mark. Now that I have that data that made them maybe turn off, they weren't into it anymore. Is it something I did? Is it, is it editing? Was it the topic? Right? It's starting to
Hmm.
really analyze and you improve it. You make
Yeah.
tweaks and adjustments and you learn along the way. And that's how you get better is from the data. But we can't get data until we start posting regularly.
Exactly. It is such a catch 22. You got to post regularly to get enough data in order to be able to figure out what's working and what's not working and what direction your channel should be going or not be going. What is,
Mhm.
figuring out what does your audience want and do you want to do what your audience wants? That's, hopefully yes, and what is the value you're adding, and I think that's really important. I think it's something Legendary talks about a lot too. What is the
Mhm.
value that you're adding? And if you can't answer that question, like what is the value of watching this video, then you shouldn't be doing that video. There,
No. I
don't
mean,
post it.
that's the reality, that's a hard truth, and I think
Yeah.
I've seen content that I'm like, "What is the value here?"
What's
"Well,
the
the
point?
value is gonna be my ebook." And I go,
Mm,
"That's not in your video, that's your call to action, and now you're just trying to clickbait them over. You didn't give them
yeah.
anything. Your value is not your ebook, that's more about you. You want an opt-in,
Hmm.
so you're looking selfish online, not looking like you're serving.
Yeah.
You gotta give them a quick nugget. You have to help them. It's all
Yes.
about them. What's in it for me, as Steve has shared, um, for your viewer.
And also keep it simple. If you
Yeah.
go onto YouTube, there's a video of someone teaching how to use a drill to screw a nail, to screw a screw, sorry, into a wall. That's all it is. Millions of views. Millions. Because like you said, YouTube is a search engine. I know I use it, right? If my dryer got locked the other day, a while ago, my son He pressed a button and, of course, had no idea what button he pressed. All we knew is that we could not open the dryer door because it had a child lock on it, which I, of course, had not paid attention to because I've got teenagers. And I
Right.
couldn't find the manual and I couldn't figure out where to go to download the manual. So I went to YouTube and I
Mhm.
at least had the model of my dryer and said, okay, why won't the door? I first had to answer the question, why won't the door open? And great, it's not going to cost me any money. How do I open the door and not have this happen, and make sure it doesn't happen again? And that is a very specific question I asked, right? Why did my dryer door not open? How do I get it unlocked? How much money is this going to cost me? Right?
Mhm.
And if you are not answering a very specific question also with your video, which I think is part of the value that you're adding, then you're also making the wrong video. And it's really hard when you feel like you've spent hours researching something to then figure out, oh, wait, this is wrong. But that's okay. For me, this is the reinvention part. You are constantly reinventing, you are constantly learning as you use social media platforms. Some of them are changing constantly. We don't know what the algorithm is. YouTube seems to be very consistent, which is something else I
It
like
is.
about it.
Yeah.
And the fact that I know it's a search engine, and then I'm going to say, well, what's the question I'm going to answer when I'm making this video? And that's something you should also think about. What is the question you're answering? Because somebody is out there search. What are they going to put into that search bar of YouTube that they're going to stumble
Right.
upon you?
Right.
Because that's how we all get to the videos. Unless you're a subscriber, it's literally you're putting a question in and trying
You
to find an
want
answer.
people go to YouTube, especially
Mm,
to solve a quick problem.
yeah,
So, whatever niche you're in, what are all the possible problems that you can solve in a video, and write them all down? And each of those is a different video. Don't try
yeah.
to jam it all into one.
People won't watch.
No, like you just want to solve one problem perfect and keep going. And if you really want to, you could go plug that long form video and have AI chop it up into short form videos for you.
Mhm.
Put those out on other social media platforms and drive traffic to your offer, drive traffic back
Yeah.
to YouTube, use it as a teaser. I love that you did that. For the full video, head over to my YouTube channel. Um, and there's a lot of synergy that's going on, and I love that you use that.
Yeah, and I mean, then the long goal is, if you have something like that, is that you create a course, right? And that's
Mhm.
part of your, of your other stream of income, is you have a membership room, and then you have a course, and then people are able to ask you questions, or you're able to give extra information if there's someone who wants the advanced part, right? Like, I think of Excel, which I think most people are familiar with. There's the very basic Excel, right? Add up this column of numbers. But then there's the advanced Excel, right, where you're using macros and you're putting in PDF documents, right? Some people just want the basic, how do I add up this column of numbers? And then other
Right.
people want to know how to manipulate the data and how to put extras, pretty things in there, or
Mhm.
how to attach documents. So you can start out with the very simple question and then figure out, well, do I want to make a video of the advanced stuff, or do I want to make that part of a membership or part of a course that I then have people buy into later on? So
Yep,
there's lots of
totally.
different ways to use it.
And guys, think about it when you do search a question and you hit
Mm,
Google first. You don't even go to YouTube first. You just open your browser. Google's right there. You type in your question. You want a question to this one answer. You hit search. The first few set of searches will always be YouTube videos.
yeah.
They always will be. They just are. Whichever ones that are answering that exact question. And who doesn't want that traffic?
Exactly. And
Right?
I mean, and don't think that any question is too simple.
Yeah.
So over here in Ireland, they drive manual cars. It is the bane of my existence. I have an automatic, right? But they still drive manuals. Some of you who are maybe older remember manual cars, stick shifts as you call them. There are videos, if you go on YouTube, there are videos for how to drive an automatic. You're going, "What? It's not that hard." Many children steal their parents' cars on a regular basis in America because
Right?
it's so easy. But over here, if all of a sudden the only option at the rental car place is an automatic, people have literally never gotten into an automatic car in their lives. and they need to watch a YouTube video. The guy who does I'm sure I think it's a man because I've seen the hand in the video with the drill with the screw into the wall.
Mhm.
You know, you're going, what? Someone watched a video? And I'm like, yes, millions of people watched a video to do this. So don't think your question is too simple. I would actually say the simpler the question, the better it's going to do on YouTube.
And you know what else I think is important to note is it doesn't matter how many other people have answered the same question on YouTube either.
No.
Just doesn't, because if that was the case, we would all be friends with everybody in the whole world.
Yeah.
We would all want to marry every single person in the whole world and have a relationship with, because we just relate to everyone equally. But we know that's not true. And the same thing goes online. It's the exact same thing. We just connect with personalities, ages, whatever it may be, differently than what someone else might. So we just connect with content also, how they deliver content, how they teach. We all had teachers that we're like, God, I cannot figure out, I can't stand listening to this person. Someone else in the same class is like, this is my favorite teacher ever.
Yeah.
It's the same thing online. So don't talk yourself out of taking action because you're scared with
Definitely
somebody
not.
else already has that video, or
Yeah, no,
already
definitely do
seen
that.
it 20 times. I don't care. Throw it out there. Make a video and put your blinders on. Follow all the crap that's making you not take action. And I mean, seriously, sit down today, write down as many questions you've heard within your niche and start just filming.
Yes, and that's really important. Just do it. The world is not going to swallow you up. Your roof is not going to cave in when you post your first video, but there's also not going to be confetti either just because you posted your first video. You need to, like Joanne said in her introduction of me, you need to celebrate it yourself. I celebrate my wins, a lot on my own, and that's okay. But for me, the reinvention part was I had to learn how to edit videos. Now I use free platforms like Clipchamp and CapCut. I hope I'm okay to say that. They're free. There's free software out there. Do they want you to buy into the upgraded version? Of course they do. But can you get away with the free one? Yes, you definitely can. But you have to sit down and learn how to do it. You don't have to hire an editor. It may look a little bit better, but when you're first starting out, you become everything in the business, which I also think is good because then when you do eventually hire somebody, you know exactly how long it takes, right? You're not, somebody's not going to give you an invoice and you're going to go, what? 40 hours? How in the world is that possible? I've done it in this amount of time. You'll know what your parts of your business are and how long it takes. So you'll have a much better idea on how, when you're ready, how to start hiring people to do some of the parts of your business. And I think that's really important.
That is a huge nugget, huge nugget. And I 100% agree with you that you cannot hire somebody for something that you don't know what you're hiring.
Yeah.
There are a lot, this happens a lot when it comes to funnels. And in the, we'll even say, I've seen it in the ClickFunnels community. Someone's like, I got an idea. I need somebody to build me a funnel. They don't know how to do it themselves. They have no idea even what instructions to provide. So they got people reaching out to them, all death to their inbox, to their DMs, because the number of reach out after they've posted the comment is wild. The price points are all over the place.
All over.
All over the place. And they have no idea now how to vet who is actually good at creating a funnel that they need for their niche.
Yeah.
They can't even describe what they need. They don't even have a product yet. They're just brainstorming. And so you end up with a lot of bad hires at that point.
Yeah, and that's
You just
money
get because you
out the
don't know it
window.
yourself. You don't know what to hire or how long it actually should take somebody to do something.
And if it's quality, you don't
Yeah.
know because you've never done it. So I would say it's really important to do everything in your business. To do the organic first. I'm a big believer in that. You have to figure out what for your niche works. For some niches, YouTube doesn't work. It just happens to work for mine, and what I do. But that's because I also enjoy it. I like being on the camera. It's fine. I get a little buzz, every time I'm going to edit a video and then get it done. And I'm like, yay, time to publish. I'm so excited, and get it on the YouTube channel. Also, something else I do is if I am trying to figure out how to do something, I make a video about it because I go, if I'm trying to figure it out, there's got to be a ton of other people who are trying to figure it out also. So that's where a lot of my videos are. Okay, this is me I figured it out, and now I'm going to make a video showing how you can also do it step by step. But that's how some of my videos have come about, is just because I'm trying to figure out how to do something in my niche. So somebody else is too. The
Yes.
same thing you said about, if somebody's already made a video, that's okay. I have found a lot of instructions out there, like IKEA. We've all done the IKEA furniture, I'm sure. They assume a
All of
lot
it.
of information, right? There's a few assumptions that are made. You need to be that person who fills in the gap sometimes of the assumptions, so that the person who is trying to follow the quote unquote official directions is going, why aren't I getting this? Well, there could be a reason. There's a step that could have been missed, and you're the person who can fill that gap in. That's the value you're adding, is you can say, oh, I've done this, but I figured out that there's an extra step that they forgot to put in there. And
Mhm.
here's the key, so you can be successful as well.
Yeah, definitely. Ugh, dropping gold left and right,
Okay.
Michelle. I
Okay.
love it. So I want to clear this up because there are some questions about it. They see
Okay.
wordsmith in your handle. You did start out writing blogs.
I did.
Then you went to YouTube because you really discovered what you love. You
Yeah.
don't love short form, so you went with long form as your main source of traffic and content that you
Right.
put out. And I think that's really important for a lot of people to realize is I'm just going to say it, and it's going to piss off a lot of people. I've been in the online space for a long time. Instagram was never the end all be all. It just happens to be right now. Everybody trying to push themselves onto Instagram only.
Mm,
Instagram does great for many people. Instagram does shit for many people.
yeah.
But if you're just banging your head every day trying to get Instagram to love you, I want you to try something else because there's a lot of other
Definitely.
options. Instagram is not the end all be all, creme de la creme of everything online. It's just not. And there was a
I
time
really
where
like on
TikTok
Instagram.
was, everybody had to be on TikTok. And then there was time everyone had to be on Facebook. And then right now we're in the everyone has to be on Instagram because I saw X, Y, and Z person who are killing.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of platforms out there that might just be a better fit for you and your business. And
Yeah, I also
what
use
matters.
Clapper, which I'm
Mhm.
not sure how many people are familiar with, but Clapper is also a short form video content. I just happen to do well on there for some reason. Yeah, my videos do a lot better on Clapper than on TikTok. Same videos, literally same videos. Now, Clapper doesn't have as many hashtags. I found with TikTok, it can be overwhelming as you're sitting there putting in 100 hashtags. Clapper only allows 5 hashtags, which I'm kind of grateful for in some ways. But I happen to do well. Also, be mindful of your audience. Now, my audience is mainly in the US, even though I'm in Europe, but in Europe,
Mhm.
we don't have threads yet, I don't think. We didn't have threads to
Okay.
begin with. A lot of
Mhm.
social media platforms will start out in the US, and then it will eventually trickle down to the rest of us. Um, I also don't use Twitter slash X.
Right.
It's just not, again, just not my gig. So
Mhm.
yeah, you need to find out what you're comfortable with
Yeah.
and do a little experimenting. Yeah. So I started out doing blogs. So on my website, I do have blogs, and then I've now put my YouTube videos as part of my blogs. It's also a way to kind of differentiate my personal life from my business life. But I
Mhm.
do say on my videos, hi, my name is Michelle Downey. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I do give my real name if you wanted to hunt me down in social media. Um, but yeah, I happen to use a pseudonym for two reasons, because I started out writing, and I also do have a book. I have a book that I have written that's on Amazon, and also because I wanted to differentiate my personal life from my business life, which some people might find
Great.
important as well, because
And I think
it's a
there's
bizarre world out there.
and it's still your face. It's still a
Yes.
personal brand, guys. Do you see it? You don't have to if you don't want to. You can. There's nothing wrong with it, and it works for many people. But
Hmm.
separate and still have your face out there and have a
Yep.
brand and separate it from your personal accounts if you want to. And that's really, I think some people get frustrated. We're like, well, what kind of account should I make? Well, what should I be faceless? Should I be this? Should I be that? And it's like, well, what do you want?
Yeah.
Don't do what you saw someone else do. What do you want? And let's make a business that aligns with you.
Yeah, and it's the same with Facebook. So on Facebook, I'm
Mhm,
also Michelle Wordsmith as well, but it's still my
mhm,
face.
mhm.
It's still me doing the videos. I don't hide, if you just did an image search, you would very quickly figure out who I was. So I'm not hiding that part. I just wanted to be able to separate them out. Also
Yeah.
because it's a way for me to keep track of what's going on in my life. I don't know how many of you are parents out there and husbands or wives or have partners, but life is busy enough personally. And if all of a sudden things start getting muddled, I find things get complicated. So
Yeah.
it's a way for me to, because I treat my business like a business, right? I
Mhm,
do my business during a certain time frame. Now, because it's odder for me because I'm over in Ireland, just like this call. It's 10 a.m. in the States. It's afternoon slash evening. That's when I do my business because my YouTube channel is my demographics show me my population is in America. So
mhm,
I always post videos what would be considered later in the day for me. But it's because YouTube has told me that's the time to post them, even though it's morning over in the US.
mhm,
So I gear when I post videos, when I schedule videos based on a US time zone. And that helps me cheat a little bit because it means that I've got a chunk of the day to
mhm.
get everything done before I have to post something, before I have to have
You
it
have your
finished and ready to
schedule,
go.
and that's what's important. I do
Yeah.
wanna clarify something for everybody that's in the comments. Don't be like, "How do I find which the best time to post my reel on Instagram?"
Oh, right.
If you're just starting out,
Just post it. Just
for
post.
Pete's sakes, just post it.
Yeah.
Timing happens later.
Yes. Yes,
Later
definitely.
in your business, after you have 100 videos up,
Right.
after you have enough analytics to see if it makes a difference. But at the start, when you're struggling to even post something, I don't care when you post it, just post every day.
Every day. And the great thing about social media is you don't need a tool to schedule your posts. Like TikTok will do it for you. You can make your video and then tell TikTok this is when I want to post it. Clapper doesn't have that ability right now. YouTube has that ability. You can, put your video up on your channel and then you can schedule it to post. So it's really what I do a lot of. I change my shirt. So I literally make a video and then I'll change my shirt and I'll make another video. So it looks like it's a different day, but it really isn't. If just to kind of make it look like I've done it at a different time, but also so people don't go, why is she in the same clothes all the time when she's on her videos?
Right, right, right.
Now, I feel like men sometimes get away with it better. I don't know how many people watched American Idol and Simon Cowell who wore the same black T-shirt every single time.
Right. So then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't want to say that. I don't want to, get in trouble
Yeah.
or whatever. But for me personally, I like to, and also by changing my shirt, I keep track of what I'm doing. Which video is it that
Mhm.
I am now editing? So you can do, I'm sure Legendary talks about this. You can do what I call batch videos, especially
Yep,
the short form ones,
you
right?
do.
Yeah, it takes about 2 hours, I would say, to sit down and make 5 or 7 videos and then edit them. Just because they're short doesn't mean they don't take time to edit. You still need to edit the video correctly. If you're going to add music, you still need to, figure out, well, what kind of music am I going to add? Some videos I don't talk at all. I'm literally pointing to words, so then the music is very important. And I also sometimes will just chop up my YouTube video into a shorter segment as a
Mhm.
short. But either way, you need to, yeah, consistency again is really key. Make yourself a schedule, because if you do not make yourself a schedule, then you have no accountability, as Joanne was also talking about. The old saying for me is, you either plan to fail, fail to plan or plan to fail, right?
Yep,
that
right.
that that's what happens. give yourself a target. If you exceed it, fantastic. If you don't make it, that's okay. But figure out why you didn't hit your target, and what can you do better next week in order to do that. And then once you have enough videos posted, you will start seeing that horrible data and analytics that'll tell you when your audience is on, when they're watching, and you'll also be able to see which videos do better. I have found in short form for me that my inspirational quote videos do very well, where sometimes I'm not even on the video. I literally just have the words on the screen and some music. And they seem to do okay. People just want that little, oh, that's so nice. I need to remember, I
And
need to
that
do that.
won't work for everyone.
No.
It's something you should test. How about that?
Yes.
Test.
Yes. And
Test.
that's part of the reinvention again,
Mhm.
is you
Mhm.
need to test constantly. So do something that little bit different every time. Try to make something a little bit better, but also do maybe something a little different. Do a different ending, do a different beginning. If people, like Joanne was saying, if people are watching, what happens at minute 30, 3 minutes, when people click off the video? What happened there? Well, then what do you need to change? And start figuring that out.
Yeah, definitely. All right, I'm gonna get a little spicy.
Okay. Oh my
Spicy.
gosh, what does that mean?
So there are a couple people, not many, but a couple people that are like, I need to know her niche. I need to know her niche. And I want to be very abundantly clear. We This is why Decade in a Day, we change the niche every single time we hold a Decade in a Day workshop that's 5 hours long.
Yeah.
And Michelle has dropped so many YouTube tips today for free. It doesn't matter the niche.
No.
Don't My advice to anyone that's stuck on niche, don't chase the niche for success. I want you to find what works for you. What do you love? What are you excited? Who do you want to wake up and make videos for? What
Yeah.
group of people do you want to become online friends with? And then what can you do to help them with their problems?
What problem are you trying to solve?
Yep.
Right? What's the value?
Think
We've said
that.
it in like 5 different ways now, but
Yeah.
it's all the
Like,
same
let's
question.
not chase the niche
No, that doesn't matter.
as how am I got to find the right niche to make money. But I want
Mhm.
you to find the right audience that you can serve, and then take the marketing skills you're learning, whether through education, through today's only, everyone can go and implement what they wrote down from today's call onto YouTube and make real changes from the
Yeah.
tips that she gave just on this call. And it applies to any niche out there, which is what's really, really cool and special. And I don't want anybody to get hung up on niche. When she spilled, Michelle's just spilling and dropping gold bars and gold boulders of YouTube advice all through this episode. So
Yeah.
don't miss the gold because you're chasing a niche.
No, every single channel needs to answer specific questions. What is the value you're adding? What is the problem you're trying to solve? How are you serving your audience? And
Mhm.
the way I have found to serve my audience is by listen to your audience, I would say, is another, and be consistent. You have to be consistent.
Yeah.
Don't say you're going to do a video every Tuesday and then miss a Tuesday. Your audience will leave.
Mhm.
They will be gone
Right?
so fast. It is frightening. Um,
Yeah. Yeah,
so
could
I
you
don't
imagine
say a
Wake
specific
Up
day.
Legendary if we're like, "We're gonna do it once in the evening. We'll
Yeah,
see
maybe done tomorrow morning, maybe in the
we'll see
afternoon.
again
Yeah.
in 2 weeks when we feel like going live," and that happens. That
Mm,
happens, and that's why we still have an episode Monday through Friday.
yeah. Now, I haven't done live streaming. I don't know, Joanne, if you have any experience with it. I personally have not tried live streaming yet.
Mhm,
So that's something I still want to try. So that's, another reinvention. There is a live streaming option on YouTube. And I think the live streaming does go towards your watch hour. So that's a little trick.
mhm,
If you're short on watch hours and you need the watch hours to go towards your monetization, if you're able to, and you have the confidence to do a live stream where any question's going to get thrown at you, or maybe you have a guest on with your live stream that you're answering questions about a specific issue, in your audience, your live streaming hours will go towards your watch hours. So that's something
Yeah.
else I know people do.
Yep, definitely. I think just because you are so comfortable talking, try it. Something to test for you.
Yeah, it
Something
is. It's
to
something to
test.
test.
Next
My
next
my
list, something to test.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So today I'm looking outside because I can see my backyard. It's almost like the hurricane. It has been typical Ireland, dull, rainy. So for those of you who don't realize where Ireland is, it's very far north. We don't get to 24 hours of darkness, but we're get really, really close.
Oh,
So
okay.
part of yeah, so one thing I need to figure out is how to get enough light in to try to do a live stream when I know most of my American audience is going to be able to watch. And
Mm.
all
That
of
is a
us will
unique issue you need to solve.
yeah, it's not that hard. I'll just put on loads of lights and like I've got a lamp here next to me now. You know, I would also say don't let those little obstacles get in your way.
Yeah.
I haven't done live stream yet just because I'm okay with where I am at the moment, but it is something it's definitely on my list. But
Mhm.
there's only so much you can do in a day, and don't beat yourself up if you haven't hit that target. Just make sure, like I said earlier, you figure out why didn't you hit the target? Is the target the SMART goals? Is it realistic? Is your SMART goal
Mhm.
realistic? That's the R part in SMART. If it's not realistic, then you're going to keep failing and you're going to keep getting discouraged. So make it a more realistic goal and make it time sensitive, that you can do it. It's really important. But definitely just make sure you have a schedule that
Yeah.
you that you're going to start implementing today. Take action
Right?
today. That is definitely huge. Your friends are not going to see your YouTube video. They're not.
Yeah.
And if they do, who cares? At least
Unless
you
you
had the
send it to
courage.
them.
Yeah, at least you had the courage to do it, right?
Right.
Everyone's like, "Oh, I got to do, I should start a channel on social media. People are making all this money, blah blah blah." But they're not doing it. You
Mhm.
be the action taker. And that's what will make you different.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely. There's a word you used, and I love it because I've used it as well, and I prefer it over the word goals. It's target.
Mm,
Because if you think about a target, you can have this target, which is technically bullseye, but you could land anywhere on this target and you
yeah,
gotta
the ring.
right? And you gotta win. And then you can assess, well, how do I get closer to bullseye on the
Mm,
target?
definitely.
And that's a really good mindset shift for a lot of us to think about because when we say goal, that it's bullseye or failure.
Yeah. And it's not. It's
And
not
it's
at all.
not. It's really is targets. And what are your targets? Are they realistic? Are you getting on the target? Are you getting somewhere on there? And you got to celebrate that win. And then if you get a little closer, celebrate that. And you get a little closer, celebrate that. But you're still on target.
And don't be discouraged if you feel like it's taking a long time to see progress. Keep going is
Mhm.
is uh, is huge for me. Just keep going. It's better than doing nothing at the end of the day. And
Yeah.
you will start to get those wins. I remember getting my first commissions and going, "Oh my gosh, this actually works!" you know, um, or when my channel got monetized, I was like, "Woohoo!"
Right.
Celebrate those wins and just know it may take time. It will depend on what you're doing, what you're implementing, what's going on. But if I always feel like if I'm standing still, then I'm definitely not making any progress, right? The
Yeah.
turtle went slowly, but he kept going
Mhm.
in the story and eventually wins the race.
At the end of the day, I none of us can have a crystal ball and can tell you
Mm,
how long XYZ is gonna take.
yeah.
None of us can. But I can tell you, you will never get there if you're sitting on your butt doing nothing.
Mm,
If you're sitting there going, "I'll post tomorrow," but you didn't today, you're never gonna get there. But if you are showing up consistently and doing and working on your education, working on applying marketing skills, putting them into action, and you do it every day, there will be progress made over time. That that is something that we can talk about.
And with technology these days, I make videos in my car, right? I drive my
Yeah.
kids to soccer training.
Mhm.
We have to be there an hour and a half before the game starts.
Mhm.
You know, instead of going for coffee, I sit in my car. I edit videos. I make videos. It's the same. I hate to use the exercise analogy, but it almost is the same. You know, there is time in your day. You just need to figure out where it is.
Yeah.
I have found that, either sitting in the car during training, because me watching I do watch some of the training sessions sometimes, and I know parents who watch the whole training session, good. But sometimes you have to figure out not only what is the action you need to take, but what are some actions you need to stop taking in order to attain your goals or to get on your target.
Yeah.
I personally have figured out that it's better for me personally, for my mindfulness, for my business during the hour and a half that I'm sitting in my car to
Mhm.
actually do something rather than going and getting a cup of coffee. Sorry, we don't have Starbucks here, so that's why I don't say it. We have very few Starbucks here, but I'm assuming they're all over America. You know, and you can do that in your car, thanks to laptops. Or I know some people who edit their videos on their phone. I personally don't do that because, as Joanne said in the beginning, I'm in the older generation, over 50. So I like bigger screens. But you can edit your video on your phone, and there's software out there specific for people who edit their videos on their phone. And for YouTube Shorts, you can only do them through your mobile phone. You can't
Yeah.
post YouTube
You
Shorts
can't post them
via
anywhere
your
else.
via your
Yeah.
laptop, so you
Right.
have no choice. But you can definitely find those pockets of time where you can get a short form video or a long form video done. So I do it in stages. I get the idea, I think of the script. I also think overall, how does this fit into my channel? Like you were saying earlier about a personal brand. If my idea doesn't fit my personal brand, or if I can't figure out what the value is to my audience, even though it might be a good idea, I don't do the video.
Mhm.
I have made videos that I've never posted because
Mhm.
after making the video, I have figured out it's not quite right. It's not
Right.
quite the right fit. And that's going to be okay too. Don't feel like you've wasted time. You haven't wasted your time because you have further determined what your personal brand is. And that is really important. If you look at the big companies out there like Coke and Pepsi, you have no you are very clear about what their personal brands are. You don't mix them up. That's
Right.
what I was looking
Right.
for, right?
Yeah.
It should be the same with your own personal brand. No one should mix you up. No one should not understand
Mhm.
what your personal brand is. So
Mhm.
it's okay to make a video and then go, oh, wait, that's not quite right. That I'm not sure what I'm saying here, because that also helps you to further figure out what direction you should be going.
But at the end of the day, guys, you won't get to be able to make that distinction until you
Mm,
start posting.
yeah. Yeah. You have to
Until
start
you start
posting.
posting. And
It's really
that's
important.
it's so important. You gotta get going. You gotta get started. We gotta
Yeah.
which is key, and I love.
Yeah.
Oh, this has been awesome. I could
Oh,
just chat
good.
all day. I love with you, Michelle. This is great.
Excellent.
This was a
No, I'm enjoying
fantastic
it
call.
too.
There were so many tips in here. Um, I mean, yes, they were YouTube directed, but just
Yeah.
overall business and mindset. It was a whole
I
package,
I
Michelle. I loved
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I do believe mindset is key. If you don't have a positive mind, I believe there are self-fulfilling prophecies out there. So if you constantly tell yourself, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to be successful, this won't work for me, guess what? It's not going to.
Yeah.
I know Legendary has a whole section on mindset, and I'm a big believer in that. You have got to get into the right mindset. And you also, the entrepreneurial skills that Legendary Marketer talks about, it is a business, and you do
Yeah.
have to treat it like a business. And there are skills you're going to have to learn. And that's, again, where for me part of my eclectic careers issue has come into play, because I've done so many different things. I didn't train to do X and then do X for 20 years and then figure out I needed to do Y. I i did a lot of different things based on my personal circumstances in my life. Like, the reason why I became a shore excursions manager was because I wanted to pay off my student loans and I wanted to get paid to travel. So I then found the way to do that. And when you live on a cruise ship, you have very few expenses because you're not paying rent and you're not paying for a car, right? But that was also 2 years of my life. But I was willing to give 2 years of my life to get myself into that kind of financial position. What are you willing to do to get on that target? And that's a question you need to ask yourself, and ask yourself very seriously, is
Yeah.
what are you willing to do, and what are you willing to give up? Because I also, when I lived on the cruise ship, right, that meant I wasn't at home. I did the South American and the Caribbean run. So I missed weddings, I missed birthdays, I missed family get-togethers. I was a lot younger then, but still, you have to. It's a lot easier now. Back then, we had email, but we didn't have social media. I know it's hard to imagine for some people on this call, but there was a time before social media.
Thank God social media wasn't around when I was in high school.
Yeah. Yeah,
Aging
my voice.
ourselves.
Yeah.
And it really comes down to, we got to stop putting roadblocks in the way.
Yep.
Being consistent, schedule it in to your life. And I don't care if every video is in the car. We've had a dating coach on with, I think she's at like 70, 80,000 followers. She is a dating coach. Every single video is from her car.
Yeah.
But she has a schedule. Before she gets out, she has a 9 to 5.
Yep.
She does it before she gets out in the morning. And when she gets back in the car, she makes another video before she drives home.
She's got her schedule. Yeah.
And that's every video. There's not another video where she's not in her car. And she's been doing it for years.
Yeah,
And
I
she's a
am
dating coach.
my
They're all
YouTube
in her
channel.
car.
My YouTube channel. I recently interviewed a woman who's doing. She's a legendary marketer student who's doing affiliate marketing. She has 4 kids and she's a nurse, and yet she finds the time to post. I think she's posting twice a day on Instagram, and I'm like, you got to tell us how you're doing this, because there are people with no kids who are struggling to do this, but I only have 2, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if I had more than it is possible.
Yeah,
Anything you want is possible. You need to start thinking that it's possible, and that gets you a long way towards achieving that, hitting that target. Most definitely.
Well, we are well over an hour.
Are we? Okay.
So thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and
No,
thank you everybody who's been on the call. I don't see the comments, so thank
go
you so
back
much.
on Facebook and check
And
out
look.
the
Okay.
comments for sure. You'll love it. And thanks for coming on. We appreciate you. And you have to come back too.
I'd be honored. Thank you so much.
Our
Everybody
pleasure.
have a good day or a good evening wherever you are in the world.
Thanks, Michelle. All right. As it's been on the screen for most of the interview, you can go follow Michelle on YouTube at Michelle_Wordsmith. Go head over to YouTube, give her a follow, check out her content. And this is a keeper. Save it on Facebook. Go to Spotify, save it as one of your episodes, re-listen to it, take notes, and start applying all the nuggets that were dropped, the tips that you can implement immediately, that were shared during this episode. Have a great Wednesday, everyone. And thank you for being legendary. Peace.